All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to get into this amazing story that really cuts to the core of, why we put things off. And more importantly, it's got this super simple secret to, well, finally getting things done. You ever dream of a better life? I mean, of course, we all do, right? You tell yourself, okay, this is the day I'm going to start that project or get fit or learn that thing. But then tomorrow comes and, well, you're right back where you started. So, what is that gap? What's the space between the life we imagine and the one we're actually living? It almost always boils down to this, doesn't it? On one side, you have the dream success, accomplishment, a better you. But on the other side, in reality, we often pick comfort. We choose to delay. We're basically trading the person we could be for the easy out of just saying, I'll do it tomorrow. And that's the real struggle we're going to dig into. Which brings us perfectly to our first part here, the potential trap. Yeah, this is where we're going to meet a guy who has all the talent, all the potential in the world, but he is just completely stuck in that tomorrow cycle. So let's meet Ethan. If you ask anyone in his village, they'll tell you the same thing. This guy could be the best blacksmith around. He's got it all. He's strong, he's smart, his skill is just wow. But he's got this one big problem. He spends all his time dreaming about being great, but he never actually, picks up the hammer. And look, this isn't just some harmless little habit. His inaction, it's causing real problems. His workshop is just a graveyard of half-finished projects. You've got farmers waiting on plows, the guards are waiting for their swords, the entire community is starting to feel it. And that's when the whispers start. Why doesn't he ever finish anything? His whole reputation is starting to just crumble. And then it hits a breaking point. The village chief, the big boss, shows up in person and just lays it on the line. He's like, look, this isn't about disappointing a few people anymore. Your whole livelihood, your place here, it's on the line. And I think for the first time, it really clicks for Ethan. All those dreams, they're completely worthless if he doesn't do something. So what happens next? What changes? Well, this leads us to the real turning point, where Ethan finally learns the secret of discipline. Right when Ethan is at his lowest point, this wise, famous blacksmith named Samuel shows up in the village. He's heard the stories about Ethan's amazing talent, and he sees the struggle firsthand. But he's not there to offer sympathy. Nope, he's there to offer a secret. And this is the whole thing right here. Samuel tells him the trap is waiting to feel like working. Think about it. Motivation, it comes and it goes. It's totally unreliable. But action is a choice. It's something you can decide to do every single day, no matter how you're feeling. And Samuel explains discipline in a way that Ethan, as a blacksmith, would totally get. He says, discipline is like a piece of iron. It's not something you're born with. It's something you have to forge. You've got to show up and hammer it every single day, especially on the days you don't feel like it. That's how you make it strong. Okay, so now we get to see how Ethan actually puts all this into practice. This is where the real transformation begins. And what's so brilliant is that Samuel doesn't just say, hey, work harder. No, he gives him this incredibly simple, almost laughably easy plan. Step 1, just work for 5 minutes. That's it. The goal isn't to forge a masterpiece on day 1. The goal is just to show up, to build that muscle, that habit of taking action. And that first day, oh man, it's a struggle. Just lifting the hammer feels like it weighs a ton. His brain is screaming at him, stop, go sit down, do anything but this. He only manages those few minutes, but the fact that he did it at all, that was a huge, monumental win. Those first few days are just this constant war against his old self. He wants to quit, he wants to go watch the clouds, anything. But he just keeps clinging to what Samuel said, telling himself over and over, just show up. It doesn't matter how you feel, just show up. Fast forward a few months, and the change is just, wow. The power of just showing up is so clear. His workshop isn't that graveyard of broken promises anymore. It is filled with gleaming, finished swords and strong, sturdy plows. It's real, tangible proof of his daily effort. And the results are so much more than just a pile of finished goods. He sees the real, genuine smile on a farmer's face. He hears kids cheering for him now, instead of those whispers. For the very first time in his life, his incredible skill actually has the discipline to back it up. His reputation isn't just restored, it's better than ever. Okay, so what does this whole story mean for you and me? Let's bring it home. This last part is all about taking this lesson and making it real in our own lives.
Ethan really says it best. The biggest reward wasn't the stuff he made or the money he earned. The real prize? It was how he felt. By forcing himself to act, especially when it was tough, he finally started to feel like the man he'd always wanted to be. He literally changed his own identity, from the talented but lazy guy to the skilled and disciplined master.
And that right there is the big takeaway from this whole story. What if the problem isn't that you're lazy? What if you're not unmotivated? Maybe you just haven't practiced the skill of making yourself take that first, tiny, annoying step. It's not some deep character flaw, it's a muscle. And like any muscle, you have to build it. So I'm going to leave you with this one question. Just for a second, forget about the huge, overwhelming goal. Forget about waiting for the right mood to strike. After everything we just talked about, what is your 5-minute action? What's that one tiny first step you can actually take today?